Welcome to Alikare, and I'm THEA. Okay, yes, my sugar daddy leave me in a time of crisis. Now, guys, I know sometimes people tune in on videos like this and they just do it too fast, and they might say this will not happen to me, but it's happening to many girls out there where we are vulnerable at a certain point in our life that we have to find somebody who will take care of us or will help us, and sometimes we don't find that person because we definitely want that person to take care of us, but we end up in a situation where we find ourselves with somebody who is financially well off and you're not, and so it will cause you to depend on them, or they make you to depend on them. So what I mean by by them making you depend on them, basically in my situation, I met this gentleman, and when I met him, I didn't know that he was rich, and I didn't know anything about him. He looked very down, like he was about to take his life. I was going to UTech at the time, and I said to myself, let me skip class and find out what is wrong with this man. And he was damn cute. He was matured, very older, but I could be his daughter at the time. But he looks really destroyed, like he's really going through a serious depression, and he was of high color, so you could see you could see all his emotions printed on his face and everything. So I decided not to leave this man alone. I said, he's old, what if something happened to him? At the time, how the car park stay, because he come to my business place. I had a restaurant and lounge at the same time. At that time, I have a restaurant and lounge, and when he came, anybody who come to the place have to park around the front, so I wouldn't see what car he drive or anything. So to cut story short, I get involved with this person. He said that day I take care of him, and he was about to do something stupid, and because of that he feel obligated to always check up on me to make sure I'm okay. Never have I ever seen him with a ring on his finger, or was interested in him that way, until one day he asked me to lunch. I mean, I'm going to want to keep up with him now to see what's going on, so I went to lunch with him and so forth, and he was telling me that I still didn't see what he drive, I don't know anything about him, and he realized that I'm an independent girl, but not because women out there who are independent, business like and so forth, don't find themselves in some kind of need where they would find somebody who will help them in life, or they don't feel like they want gifts and luxury and a man buying them something. We are females, we love those things. Every woman out there loves something sweet and nice from a man, doesn't matter how well off she is, and that's what men afraid to understand, that even though you meet a businesswoman, still go buy her a little teddy bear for $100 or $50, she will appreciate it. She still need those pampering. And that man realized that I was in a situation at that time where I was going through a very rocky breakup. It was the baddest breakup of my life, and I opened up to him because he opened up to me at the time on the lunch. But then he said to me he's getting some money from somebody, and he wants an account number to transfer it because he doesn't have an account to transfer it in. So I said, okay. He said, can I use your account number? When I transfer the money, you will get it. I said, sure. And little did I know that when the man was asking me for my account number, I guess by speaking to me, that if he offered me the money just like that, I wouldn't take it, knowing that I walk away from something that was even more valuable than me being in a position where I would need money. And yes, I did tell him that I need money, but I wasn't begging him. I was telling him that I'm starting over because and I'm gonna have to get a second job, and I was just opening up to him, and he was opening up to me about his life. Obviously he wasn't fully clean on his life to me, so I thought it was this poor little old man, and I'm this vulnerable girl finding somebody like a daddy friendly, somebody to talk to. And to cut story short, he deposited some money to my account, so I dropped all the money, telling him to meet me and I'm gonna give him the money. He said, no, you gotta put back that money, I don't ready for it yet. The next day he called me and said, actually that money is a gift from me. And no, he invited me to lunch one more time and tell me that the money that he put to my account, he would like to gift it to me because he gets some other cash. And then he said, what did you take him to come to the meeting for the lunch? I said, I take a taxi. He said, no, I will drop you off back. And when I look at the vehicle that this man drive, I said, this couldn't be a poor man, you know. This vehicle is worth millions of dollars. You remember about billions? Millions of dollars. So I said, he was driving like a $7 or $6 million car at the time, to my knowledge at the time. And in those times, I was about 24 years old. So I wouldn't know that this man was well off. Okay. Alright, to cut it short, I was paying my rent for 25,000 Jamaican, and he said to me, no, he wants me to move into a bigger place. So he put me into a bigger place where that rent was almost tripled what I was paying. So obviously I'm not in a position to pay my rent no more. He has to pay it. He furnished off the place differently from how I have, because it's a bigger place. And I had my business, as I spoke before. I have my business. I was doing well. I still have my cosmetology school, and I have a restaurant. But there weren't business that, you know, you could draw a certain amount of money from it. There were struggling business, but at least at the time when I met him, I was feeding myself and my bills was paid. But then he move me up to something more expensive than my budget, where I can't afford it. My business cannot afford these bills. So what would happen? He have to pay my bill. We get involved and everything was going fine. Actually, if I should say this now, he's the only man that I've ever met that has ever treated me like a queen. He treat me like a queen, and not because he have it, but he respected me at the time. He treats me well at the time, and so I get lost in the relationship, not acknowledging the things around me. And many young girls are going on there, going about their normal life right now, where they're looking for somebody, or somebody's looking for them, and they get caught up in the situation because a richer man will more show appreciation to a girl because he have it to spend. I'm not saying that a man without money can't spend on a woman and she still feel appreciated because of the little that he have. But this man, even though he was wealthy, he opened car door, he respected me, he talked to me politely, he showed me love, he understand me, he listened to me, he's not afraid to answer his phone, he tell you okay respectfully, no way you call me for art, you know, he talk to you decently, he carry you to place and treat you like a lady. And I love that. Not saying that my first relationship, because I know he might be watching about this video, he didn't treat me like a lady, but he wasn't honest in the relationship, caused me to always cry. So this relationship was like, wow, it's like what you see in movie. You ever watch Pretty Woman? Yes, it was exactly like that, guys. Only thing, I wasn't selling on the street, and I'm not condemning anybody who do that, but he was really, really nice to me. All the expensive place in Jamaica, I've been there because of that man. So something had happened to me where I decided that, you know, he was getting very jealous, like very, very jealous. Like one evening I was coming from school, I had a car at the time, and the car broke down, and a guy drive up and started helping me. And this was when I wised up, because I wasn't cheating. So I was like, why is he calling me to ask me who I'm with right now? I said, I'm not with anybody. He said, don't lie to me, you're with somebody. I said, I'm not with anybody. What are you talking about? He said, where are you? So I tell him where I am. I didn't even know the place where I am, because the car broke down along somewhere in New Kingston, to cut the story short. So obviously he had somebody watching me, and this is what happened with money, man. You have a young girl and they're so insecure, afraid somebody steal them away from them, so they will watch you. So he was basically watching me to know that somebody was helping me with my car, and he wanted to know if the person was in my car or not, because obviously the person who's giving him the information not getting full information to give him or something, I don't know. But I realized that and said, no, I have to come out of this relationship. I just used that one instant and said I have to come home. But you know, your bills high and everything, you like this person, but the person is getting really possessive because they actually owned you now, or maybe the person gone through the bad experience that they have received before and they don't want it to happen to them now that they're spending and taking care of you. So when I mean that my sugar daddy leave me in the time of crisis, yes he did, because I went on, I open this business that I know would pull me some great deal of money against his what I say, against his opinion. You know, I didn't ask him for any opinion, I didn't listen to him, I go ahead and do it. So when I do it, I run up and I find myself, when I did it, I find myself in trouble. And finding myself in trouble at that time, I realized that I would need assistance from him to come out of that trouble. Same time, my son at the time gets sick with a bad illness. I had was to spend everything that I have, and I was in some trouble. I was in deep shit. Yeah. I was losing everything that I have. I had was to give up on certain things, and you know, when I needed him most, he wasn't there. And what happened is that he himself, that he was sick. He was sick. He was dying, and I didn't know. So basically, I'm planning to leave him because I want to be independent on my own. But he was already dying and didn't let me know. So he didn't let me know that he was dying, and he stayed away from me when I needed him the most. He stayed away, and he just passed away without even me get a chance to go to the funeral. He didn't want any of his family members or friends to know that he was dying. So my sugar daddy, that's how he left me. And what I'm saying, when he left me, girls, ladies who is watching this video, when he died and leave me, is like everything fall apart. Because remember, this expensive house that he put me in, there's all of the little business that I have, he moved them out of the small rent that I could afford and put them in some big rent. So and then I have a 6 son on my hand, I'm all alone. So I had was to think fast, and I had was to think survival, to go back down to the level without losing my business. I had was to go back down to the level where I want to be and I can manage. I did do it. It takes some time, but I did do it, and I did go through some stress, but I did do it and go back to the level where I want to be. And what I want to say to you girls, you ever notice that to be a side chick, to be a woman who have a sugar daddy, to have a man who is fully in control of your life, it is completely wrong. Don't depend on a man. So every time you need something, you have to call him. It put me in a state of depression. It affected me mentally. I cried for days. I was also embarrassed because I have to change up all of my life. And when I mean embarrassed, not embarrassed to what people might say, but I was embarrassing my own self. Like, I feel like I'm a failure, and I feel like I should have known better. Some people will not see things that way. They will just say, okay, I need an next man to take care of me. But no, I didn't see it that way. And because of that, right now, I'm very, very careful about anybody that I let into my life, because he could have been honest to me. He could have never gotten so jealous, and he wanted me to close on all of my business and said that, okay, you don't need to work, I need your full attention. Maybe if I know that he was sick, I would have closed them down to take care of him, but I didn't know, and I was always busy working. Even when he thinks that I'm with somebody else, I was always working. But I didn't know that he was dying. He was ashamed to tell people he was dying. I think it's the day before he opened up to tell most people that he was dying, to what I'm hearing. So ladies, you will find yourself right now during the time of COVID and so forth, they rent nice apartment for you, they rent they give you a nice car, rent condo, put your hotel, put your everything, and everything is being paid, and you feel good and you feel like a queen and you feel treated right. But what if an accident happened and this person dead? What if this person just disappear, or have 2 and 3 line up on the side? You will always leave yourself in that empty hole, wondering what is going to happen. Just laugh for a moment, and then you're going back in that depression state. So I'm saying that you must be independent yourself. You must have a backup plan at all times. all times. And if you're going to speak to a man who have money, make sure that you yourself have something to, so both of you can put together and make a living for yourself. And I've learned that the hard way. And right now, any man I talk to, if he has money more than me, he has to allow me to keep my own space and my own standard. Even if he's married to me, I want to grow on my own. I'm not saying you can cheat me right, you can give me good things or so forth, but you have to allow me with what I have to grow. If it is a situation that we can come together and join together and achieve it, then no problem. But you can't come and take me and put me in a situation where I have to completely depend on you. I can't make a call without saying, okay, honey, I'm making a call, I'm going to go to Ochi, I'm going to go to Montego Bay. I have to call and say, okay, could you book a 2-room for me at the resort? Could you buy me lunch? I want to go lunch with my girlfriends. Or I need to go shopping. You know, that kind of thing. Oh, the landlord coming, rent need to pay, or the mortgage need to pay, I have to call on him. No, I think that is like prison. You know, you call the guard and you tell the guard what you want, and the guard get it, give you, and the guard might say you might not get it because certain stipulation. I think it's prison, and nobody is supposed to live in a relationship like that. It's unfair. And most men, I want to tell men out there who are listening this, you will meet a young lady, right? And men like power, and I've buck up that on my life. Is it that if the guy poor, he said that he doesn't want the woman to work more money than him because he's the man, and she's hype and she's this because she has more money, and because of that he back away because the woman might have certain things more than him, and he back away. If the woman is being disrespectful to you, then fine, but not all women are the same. If you have more money than the lady, don't watch each other paycheck. It's supposed to be an independent situation, and you come together and achieve things together. But men are so insecure nowadays that a woman can't be independent and have a good relationship with a man. He will either, if he's poor, he's either take your money and go man young girls with it, or look at you and, you know, take things from you when he know that he doesn't want you because he doesn't feel like he's needed. Men like to feel like they're needed, and so most young girls doesn't want to achieve their goals because they're not going to get the quality man that they want, because the good man, to some people, would say that they like to feel a sense of responsibility and control over their woman, and that's how they feel like they're a man in the relationship, which I'm saying that shouldn't be. And females out there who have money doesn't give men the respect that they should get at the same time because they are pulling in more check. And one of the next thing, men are very insecure. People don't think that men are insecure. A man feel very insecure to let a woman financially take control in the relationship if he doesn't have it. I mean, if he doesn't have it, so what if she can help you? And the next thing again with a man, he feels very insecure because he feel like the least little mistake he made, the woman will get up and leave him because she doesn't need him. And it's all about a need thing and a pride thing going on. It's not about love anymore. But guys, remember, when you go in a relationship, it's because you love each other, you respect each other, you can communicate, and you can work things out together. Never solely depend on anyone. And for all who I'm telling this video to, and who are listening it, all I'm saying to you, try to be independent, try to get your own, try to respect each other, because some people, before you meet them, they work very hard for what they have. Don't use anyone, and don't be with somebody because they have something to give or you have something to give. Be with them because you really care and you really want to make a difference in each other's life. I'm Thea. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, share, and comment.